know you miss me. I know you miss me, but I know you miss me. I know you miss me. I know you miss me, but I know you miss me. I know you miss me. I know you miss me, but
What's up? I'm Dave the Butcher. This is the Butcher's Bullshit, Volume 4. You thought I was gone, didn't you? Well, I'm back for a little bit more. So here we go. First off, I'm just going to recap what I did this weekend. Last night at Club Rocks in Alma, the MXC, which is Glenn Bailey and Shane Martin, teamed up with Big John's MMA, which is John Eubanks, Scott DePonio of Diamond D MMA, and put on a show at Club Rocks. It was a heck of a show. We had 19 fights on the card. It was a heck of a crowd, biggest crowd I've seen in Alma in quite a while. And it just blew the roof off the place. It got loud in there. Everybody had a good time. Now I'm going to start off with the main event where Jacob the Fireman Parks won the 135-pound MXC belt by beating Jay the Country Boy Guthrie by a rear naked choke submission and tapping him out and winning himself the belt there. Co-main event, Elvis Peacock tapped out Brent Ledford in the first round as well. And so, you know, the co-main event and the main event ended quickly, but the hype was there and it was a heck of a fight and was really loud in there when Jacob Parks, big shout out to him and Team Relentless, won his title. Also, Joe Knorr in the final part of the card TKO'd Jerry Mills by stoppage in the first round with 2 minutes in as well. Now, one of the girl fights on the card, Liz the Cowgirl Miro. Then these girls battled it out. There was ground fighting, there was punching, it was a heck of a fight. They took it into the third round where Liz Miro tapped her out. Now Liz is from, I believe, it's South Boardman, Michigan, from up north, came down to Alma, fought a tough-looking girl. I don't know much about this Jessica Vogel, but she took Liz to the third round and then got tapped, so props to those girls. They put on a heck of a fight. Might have just been fight of the night if it weren't for the fact that Roosevelt Rambo and a man named Randy Wiggins, representing Team Pain, known as the Wig Out, fought to a decision. Now this was definitely fight of the night. It was back and forth. There was a lot of up, a lot of standing, a lot of great ground fighting. But the punch of the night, quite possibly, was the spinning back fist thrown by Randy Wiggins. That was on the fly. I talked to him after the fight, after everything was over, and it was crazy how he described it. He just picked that up. That was adjustments on the fly, and so big props out to him and Roosevelt Rambo, representing True Fighter Fight Team out of Flint. What a fight these two put up. It was a great fight. I'm really happy to call that my fight of the night. Now, one thing that definitely should not go without mentioning is a little team that showed up here out of the western part of the state, down by the Kalamazoo area, called Team Juice. Now, the very first guy that fought for them, I believe, was Chico Beach. He won by tap out in the first. Anthony Pio beat Zach Fowler in 24 seconds by knockout to get knockout of the night. John H.D. Simpson Jr. won by tap out over Ruthless Matt Mills, a tough opponent, also I believe in the first round. And then Terry, Mr. Perfect Travesty, also known as Terry Van Avery, one heck of a fighter out of Kalamazoo, came in there and beat Chris Parks in the first round. After these two battled, Chris Parks tried to reef on this kid's neck for, I mean, it was like a minute or two almost. It seemed like a whole minute. And then all of a sudden, as soon as Terry reversed it, he threw the greatest choke on earth, this guillotine where he twists his arm, got himself a victory. So 4-0 for Team Juice, all victories coming in the first round. Big props to those guys. They're a lot of fun too. So all in all, to recap it, you know, the staff did a great job. The crowd did a good job. I mean, there was a lot of people, 400 or 500 people strong in that place, and it got loud. Everybody behaved themselves, went off without a hitch. So kind of just goes to show you who took care of Gratiot County, at least last night. Big John's MMA and the MXC. Big props and thanks for having me there. Now, on the back of that, I want to talk about some upcoming events also involving Big John's MMA and the MXC. Coming up February 18th, which is just about 2 weeks from now, I believe. Yeah, 2 weeks and a day or something like that. Christos the Mad Greek Piliafis teams up with Big John's MMA to bring you Caged Aggression 31 up here at Streeter's Ground Zero. Now, huge part of this event is King Mo Lawal is going to be showing up. He's our guest referee. That's amazing. So I'm really looking forward to working with King Mo. I enjoyed his last fight. I've enjoyed all of his fights. Former Strikeforce light heavyweight champion. So that's going to be an excellent night of fights. Some of the people on this card, February 18th, are Pat Jeanette, traveling from Canada. Also John Tebow, traveling from Canada. So it's an international flavor there. People come from all around to fight at these cage aggression events. We've had Herb Dean there in the past, Michael Westbrook, and they just keep doing it big. Big John and Christos the Mad Greek, teaming up with Scott DePonio and all the people in the back room to make this possible. It's going to be excellent. Also, we got Gabe Howard against Cameron, the Young Gun Snyder, for the lightweight cage aggression championship. This is going to be an amazing fight, and I don't even know if that's the main event. We've got Brandon Pratt fighting David Evans for the light heavyweight belt. Brandon Pratt is a student of the game, one heck of a fighter, and I'm looking forward to this. Also, Devon Brown is fighting Joseph the Game Smith. I think that's the main event for the super fight. I've been looking forward to watching Devon Brown fight forever, so I really hope that this one comes to fruition. It's been advertised. Also on the card, Rob King, Scott Musselman, Josh Stevenson from JJ's train station down in Honor. So we'll be representing. Don't forget, that's February 18th, Cage Aggression 31. That's in Traverse City. Now to recap some of the pro events that happened this weekend. Before I do that, I want to give a huge congratulations to Dom, I hate you so much, O'Grady, who just became the King of the Cage welterweight world champion by defeating Bill Albrecht in his home state of Oklahoma and at the WinStar Casino. So big props to Dom O'Grady. That's his second world championship, I believe, possibly third, because I think he was a super fight champion. That's amazing. So fighting out of the Hate Squad, representing Detroit, Dom O'Grady, big props. Now to quickly recap Showtime Kickboxing. Now this went on, and with the best striker in the world, Badr Hari, in what's supposed to be his last kickboxing fight, took on a fearsome opponent in the Turkish Gökhan Saki. Now, he said he's retiring to go pro in boxing after this fight, and I'll tell you what, I don't know how much more he should do in kickboxing, because he got this fight over in dramatic, spectacular fashion and put Gökhan Saki down and ended his kickboxing career supposedly with a win. Badr Hari, I wish you all the best in your pro boxing career. If it wasn't for a man named Bloodstained Lane, I wouldn't know a lot of this, but I definitely follow Showtime Kickboxing out of the Netherlands, and Badr Hari got to be one of, if not the best striker in all of combat sports, right up there, maybe even of all time. So big props to you and good luck in your boxing career. Also, Daniel Guida won the Showtime heavyweight title by knocking out Hesdy Gurgis, and that was a devastating knockout as well. So if you like real fights, real striking, real knockouts, check out Showtime K1 Kickboxing. It's amazing. No hugging, no lay and pray. Now, speaking of lay and pray, I'm going to recap the UFC, the main event, which, now, to be fair, I was doing an event this night, so I didn't see a lot of it, but I kept checking it, and I was keeping up on it. It was on at the club that we were working in during my breaks. And, just as I suspect, I really wanted Phil Davis to knock out Rashad Evans, but they took it to decision. I heard Phil Davis gassed, so Rashad gets the nod, and he gets the fight. He gets to be the next victim of John Bones Jones. So hopefully Bones Jones ends that quickly. And judging by how Rashad Evans fares against strikers of that kind of capacity who are unorthodox, Lyoto Machida, God, he's going to be waking up on his way to the hospital to get checked out and wondering why he's got his pants on. So there's my prediction for Rashad. But congrats on the decision victory. Also, Chael Sonnen, speaking of decision victory, controversial one over Michael Bisping. Now, I'm not so sure what I thought of Chael Sonnen. I like to talk a little smack. I enjoy talkative fighters. And I think I'm kind of starting to drink the Chael Sonnen Kool-Aid. So I'm kind of sick of Anderson Silva too, but man, I just don't see him win it. As much as he talks and as much as I get hyped every time he does, that's going to be tough to overcome. So mad props if he does, and I'm going to back off because it's real entertaining. Thank you, Chael Sonnen. You've won me over, honestly. Now, the last thing I want to cover on the UFC is Cub Swanson's sweet knockout of George Roop. Whenever I see something on ESPN that's MMA related, that's awesome. So big props to you, Cub Swanson. And like I said before, what's George Roop doing here? But not to take away from Cub Swanson. Now, another event that's coming up that I want to talk about on February 24th, Big John's MMA returns to Midland, to the Great Hall. which is off of Bay City Road. Now, from what I've heard, this event is shaping up to be huge. I don't want to give away a bunch of stuff, and I know how these events change, but John Schultz is the matchmaker, so Big John is using his talents for promotion, and John Schultz is putting together a phenomenal card. I understand there's fighters from all over coming for this. Jacob Ott's crew, and I don't want to forget anybody, so I don't want to try to name off a lot, but make sure February 24th in Midland, mark that date on your calendar, because it's a huge homecoming for us. It's been a while since we've been at the Great Hall. We want to blow the roof off of that place. So, in conclusion, this is a short episode. Look for more. I've got some big stuff coming up, possibly on the radio. Stay tuned for that, in conjunction with MI Entertainment. I want to give a shout out to Bloodstained Lane, like I did earlier, and all the people that do video blogs for the UFC. I want to give a shout out to Big John's MMA. I want to give a shout out to Donofrio MMA that does it big down in the city of Detroit. I want to give a shout out to a lot of my friends, James Lee, and anybody else that I might have forgot. Ben Lagman out and doing Strikeforce, doing it big in San Diego. Keep it up. Also, anybody that's keeping track of all that kind of stuff, Miles Jury's got a seminar coming up pretty soon, I believe, in the Detroit area. Just get on Facebook and look around. It's pretty easy to find fight stuff. So as far as that goes, I'm back. Keep your eyes open for more of the Butcher's bullshit. I'm Dave the Butcher, and I'm out.
Yes, the rhythm, the rebel. Without applause, I'm lowering my level. The hard rhymer, will you never be?